when we structured pre-season, the whole idea was, over the last few years we've had really successful youth teams, and I wanted to bring them back and have a look at them and see. A number of them have been out and gained experience elsewhere, and I've brought them back to have a look at them and see how they're developing, and I wanted to provide them with games and a training environment that's this level rather than the level they've been playing at. So hopefully it's been really good experience for them. The games, we've had 2 games on certain days. We've got 2 games tomorrow, and it just allows them to have a full pre-season. What I didn't want to do was bring a big squad in and only have 1 game and try and be giving people 5 minutes of a game. It's pointless. I wanted them to, even if we're not going to take them, we're going to encourage them to develop further elsewhere. We wanted them to be really match fit and really prepared for the season ahead.
So what have you made of the performances so far, and what are you looking for in pre-season? Is it just to regain fitness?
Well, you look for lads getting to know each other. You're obviously hoping that they come back in a good physical condition, which all ours have done. So then the focus is on getting the team prepared for a long season ahead. You know, it is a marathon, not a sprint. So the pre-season games tell you so much, and it's just building blocks on top of each other. The more games you play, the more things you see and that you want to work on within your training sessions. So at first it is a fitness based training session, but as the games kick in, then you're thinking more tactical and you're thinking more structure, and obviously you're encouraging players that they're trying to claim places, starting places. We've brought in a lot of competition, so with every game there's an opportunity to try and gain a shirt for that first game of the season, which is the all important thing.
And you've got Stockport County here tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be a difficult one. I think they've scored, is it 18 goals in the past 2 games?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've watched the highlights. You know, they've maintained pretty much everybody. You know, from last season, they've only obviously lost Matty Warburton, maybe 1 or 2 others. But with Jim Gannon's side, you know that they're going to have quality. You know they're on a massive high. They've got expectation on them in the league above, which rightly so, with how good they were last season in the trophy and in the FA Cup. There's no reason why they can't do really well in that league above, and that's the sort of incentive for us tomorrow, is to play against the champions of our league last season. I thought when we played them in the league last season, we were certainly quite a way away from them. I'm hoping that we give a good account of ourselves tomorrow. It's a game that everybody will be looking forward to, and it's a massive challenge, and we'll see how we get on.
And speaking of Stockport, you've got former Stockport defender Andy Hall's on the books now. Can you tell us a little bit about why you've brought him to the club, especially with his Football League experience?
Yeah, we knew that around the number of young players that we have, we need a little bit of experience, and Nicky Rowe and Andy Halls were the 2 lads we identified, spoke to, and got really positive vibes when we spoke to them. All the talk was about football. You know, when you sit down with players, sometimes the talk isn't about the football. They're asking you financially what the situation is, and them 2 players, it was never about that. It was all about, you know, they knew the pitch was a massive incentive for them, that they wanted to play here every week, and also they wanted to know about the structure of the team and the way we wanted to play, and they just came across really knowledgeable about the game. Obviously they've got vast experience at levels above, and I felt in the past our Curzon teams haven't really been able to have players in the team like that. The lads who had experience was from below really, and they'd come up with a club. I really wanted 1 or 2 who had experience from the level above, and they could share that experience with the younger players that we've got at the club.
So in terms of captaincy, will it be Andy Halls who takes that on this season?
No, Nicky Rowe will be the captain. He's at a wedding in Cyprus at the moment, so unfortunately he played against Wigan last week, and then he's away for a week, so he doesn't make this game. But Andy Halls is the other one, so he'll have the armband when Nicky Rowe's not there.
So is captaincy something that can change throughout the season then? Is that something you want to do?
I'm hoping not. No, I brought Nicky Rowe in especially to lead players on the pitch and lead players in the dressing room, and Andy Halls has got a very similar mentality and personality in terms of, we've got two in there. We've also, we signed Robbie Evans, who obviously was captain of Wrexham. I think he was Wrexham's youngest ever captain. Matt Regan was captain at Ashton United at times last year. So we brought in a lot of leaders on the pitch, and I felt at times last year we lacked a little bit of leadership. We had great players who could manage themselves but didn't manage people around them. Nicky Rowe's going to do that for us this year, and he's already showed that in training, in the dressing room, and also on the pitch in the games that he's played so far.
And you've stuck with goalkeeper Cameron Mason, quality keeper, still pretty young. Is he someone you look to for leadership as well?
Well, Cameron's got to lead himself first of all. He's a character. He's great to have around the place. He's getting better with every season. What you want from your keeper is dependability. He doesn't make many mistakes. I hate saying that because he most probably make a mistake now. But over the 2 seasons that he's been number one, he's played almost every game. His level of performance week in, week out is exceptional. In training, he's unbelievable, and we just expect him to get better. And he wants to get better. That's the key. He's really pushing himself this year. He wants to improve on what he did last year, and we've got a squad now that I see as my squad, and we'll be aiming for a better all-round season than we had last season.
So is there any competition for that number one jersey?
I don't see it at the moment. We have a couple of young keepers at the club, but it's not a position where I feel we can have somebody who's genuinely in contention with Cameron. If anything went wrong with Cameron, it would be looking at bringing a lone keeper in, I would think. To hold 2 keepers, obviously you've got to pay them, and we're not in a position to do that. It's much more important to make sure that other positions outfield where we've got cover.
So you open the campaign with a home tie against Bradford Park Avenue. I think that's on Saturday the 3rd of August. That'll be a tough test for you.
They're all tough tests. Obviously Bradford last year were in the playoffs. They've had a massive sort of recruitment drive like we have, so they've had a lot leave, but they've had a lot come in. So we're expecting a tough game. I'll be going watching them in pre-season to see where they're at. They've got a player manager in now, I think, who's obviously going to be really ambitious, but played a lot of professional games, and they're a club that have done well in this league for a number of seasons. So yeah, tough game, but one to look forward to, and it's at home, so we really want to improve our home form this season and also bring supporters back because of the type of football we're going to play.
And you've got to cover an awful lot of miles in this division next season. How important will an FA Cup run be in terms of bringing money in for travel costs and stuff like that?
For clubs like ours, FA Cup runs are vital, really. It's the luck of the draw. You've just basically got to manage each game as it comes. As I've said previous, FA Cup run would be fantastic, as every other club at this level and below want that FA Cup run to help them through the season. It is going to be difficult this year. We have lost a lot of revenue through Stockport and Chorley going up, and FC and Ashton going into the league below, but it's something we've got a budget for. We've got to work hard to play attractive football and hope that more local people will come to the games, and that's our aim, is to bring people through the gates, because we're playing attractive football and we're going on runs. We're in the league and in all the cups.
Do you have any predictions as to which team might be challenging for the title?
Looking at people's recruitment, obviously Spennymoor and Brackley are 2 sides that have been progressively getting better and better, but I really feel that York have signed some quality, and they will be up there this season, and you know, if I had to pick, it'd be them 3 teams who would lead the pack.
And as for yourselves, what are your aims and objectives?
Our aim is to try and have the best season in this league that we've ever had. You know, I think 58 points the first season we was up has been the most we've got. We've always sort of threatened to get somewhere near the playoffs and never quite managed it, and certainly not sustained being at that in that area of the league. And that's got to be realistic aims. And you know, with a young side, with young players, if we can get the confidence into them and the self-belief early on, you know, there's no knowing where we could end up, because I do feel this year the league is most probably as open as it's ever been in the previous 5 or 6 seasons that we've been in it.